something to be said about hard-nosed full contact. It's like that raw rap all the way back to boom bap. Spikes up, Ty Cobb inspired killing the corners. Heating up with recklessness, we still getting warmer. Nevertheless, none can contest, we bring it best. Wile E. Coyote mixed with Roadrunner, full comers. Holding your title hostage, the kings we smoke others. You're either with us or against us, it doesn't matter which. Scouting your weakness, we bring the wrath when we hit. There's never been a squatters or a trash goes can spit. You might get bashed with a stick while I'm pounding the fence. Look around, you're a fish while I'm rounding it quick. Take a look at the base and sprint off with a fist in your face. No remorse, no mercy, no force can hurt me. The scouts purposely bring the pain, come try to work me. But there's a crew of dirty cats.
How the hell are we, softball fam? Welcome once again to the Glue Guys program. Not a production, it is a proper program as I pronounce my P's. Good evening. Wednesday, March 9th. Geez, you think I know this stuff. Yes, March 9th. We are so close to picking games next week. I just want to fast forward and get to that show with the matchups but you got to wait another week. Sorry to get you all jacked up. Anyway, I don't do this alone because it would be really, I don't even want to use the words. We're trying to keep it a friendly children's program, but the genius, the man behind the curtain, pulling the strings as always, my partner, Mr. Blaze Rock, a.k.a. new music coming soon, a.k.a. you all know him as Mr. 800, Marlos Hill. How are you this evening?
Whoa.
Oh,
Let's not get carried away, bro. Let's not get carried away. I don't know about all that 800 stuff, bro.
I like that. It's like Bernie Mac, Mr. 800, though.
Yeah,
softball.
I don't know about that, though. That's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure.
You get the cut sign.
I don't know what the fuck you mean. Let's get out of here.
Overextended cut
Hide on stream.
The boss is in the back.
Man. You got a discount? Like, no. We are full price only.
Code. What's the code?
Good, people, though? It's always fun to come to the Glue Guys. You know, it's always good to have the program. It takes me a minute to come down enough for the show, especially because I go to BP right before the show.
Oh, that's right.
I'm a little jacked up, so I get my tea ready, so I can kind of mellow out a little bit and be not nearly as hype as I really am. Oh yeah, Pinky.
You're such a pinky dude. You are a pinky guy.
I totally am.
I mean, you're this close to an English accent. It's literally one more Earl Grey, and there it is.
Bro. Oh, wait, see, one thing is, I'm a very Western tea drinker. I like lemon and ginger tea. I do not drink Earl Grey. I do not drink black tea. I pretty much only drink lemon. I drink lemon and ginger. I do drink grapefruit matcha. I do some peach. Most, like I said,
that's
Western.
Bollocks.
Bollocks. No, I tell you, I say no.
Hey, good evening, my dude, whoever that is, Facebook user. Good evening. Thank you for joining the program. As always, we appreciate any and all viewers that check us out either live, which we prefer, or hey, man, you got shit going on. You can catch it anytime over at our YouTube channel, which you can get to a one simple click of the mouse. That's Glue Guys Program, all one word.com.
Yes, sir.
GlueGuysProgram.com. We'll get you a smoking deal on comedy.
Wow.
All right, that might be taken. Yeah, that's worse than your 800. Ooh, that was bad. That was
comedy. Sunday.
Yeah, that was Demolition Derby bad.
It was.
Sham wow
really
bad.
Was, bro.
Sham wow bad right there. Because Flex Steel's still good for me. So I can't. ShamWow's the bad one. Like Flex Seal eventually, but I still got a few things I look at and go, I wonder if Flex Seal will work for that. So
we're gonna take that L right there.
What's going on in here? This is gold. Comedy gold, Jerry. Comedy gold.
Hey, real quick. Let me offer something for anyone who's viewing the show on Facebook, which we appreciate you being here from Facebook, although we are not big proponents of Facebook. If you want your name to show up on the stream, to show up when you comment, you have to go into the group and you have to give the application Melon rights to do so. If you do that, your name will show up. We'll be able to respond to you directly. Right now, we do some mental gymnastics to be able to tell who's commenting, but it always looks weird when we throw on the stream comments from Facebook user, for example.
We want to give you your credit.
Our new in some of our upcoming episodes when our new production drops in. I'm working on a couple ways to get some things to look a little different, look a little better, be a little more interactive, because we like our stream commenters and the like. We love them, but it's always going to be better when we're able to put you up. So please, if you can, go and give the app, Melon app, rights to demonstrate your name until we can
Yes,
get our
please.
new version fixed and
We
running.
need help. We need help.
So,
real quick,
pay some
I'm
bills.
working. I'm working on a Garmin sponsorship. So for those that saw the picture, it's a little blurry. I can't get it, but I got a Garmin S60. I got it for golf. So before anybody, it's not an Apple Watch knockoff, Mr. Troll King McGrew. It is literally a Garmin golf watch. You could change the face, and I thought, damn, we always got to be promoting. So God forbid I'm on the golf course. I could just show, hey, you know what I'm part of? To my golfer friends and country club folk. Awesome watch, but just a cool thing. We're always trying to push it. Our friends at Marty's help us out with that also. As you can see, we have our nice official. If you go and talk to John and tell him Mark and Marlo sent you, the Glue Guys, you can get yourself also an official Glue Guys thermos. Well, if you're not drinking water, you should. So maybe that's a better reason for you to go get one. Let's say you're not the water guy, but you're like me in construction. You need a good sturdy cup, right? Like this lid is like industrial. So I got one of these 32, and John for me threw on the Glue Guys logo on there. It turns up on the mat a lot nicer than we thought. They're also doing our limited edition Glue Guy hats. We're going to only have a very, very limited number of them out at the tournament on the 19th. So there won't be any left by the 20th. I can tell you that. All the free ones are spoken for, so please don't message me and ask. They will be $30 a piece, and that's that. But we just got our shirts in. We just approved the proof for the shirts.
Oh, that comment
for the winners, and
that comment got a little weird. I have a nice 30 cup for you. Wow, that's a little weird.
Whoa!
It's a Wednesday evening. It's a little weird.
You meant to type in OnlyFans and you went to the wrong.
Yeah,
you're not at your
OnlyFans. Okay,
not where you are right now. There's no let me get one. I love that. I'm not reserving any. Come see me at the table Saturday morning. I will sell the ones I have as quick as I can.
Come first serve. Get your money right.
It's only fair. But what I can give you is some Glue Guy bat stickers. I'll have plenty of those. All right. So Marty's Trophies over in Chandler, John and the boys, Dennis, everybody over there, Jason, thank you. You guys have been hooking us up since day one. Wait to see the cool prizes we have in store for the Glue Guys. I'm not revealing them yet because they're pretty damn cool. Joining us tonight, so he gets a very short read, our guest for the evening is going to be Mickey Zarr. So I'll let him tell you about his damn business because he knows it better than I do. But I do know that he buys and sells houses better than anybody in the Valley. We'll talk about that later. And last but not least, my boy Tedit's Facebook. The Facebook police finally got him. For a meme posted in 2016, they got him for a couple days, and that hurt the stream. He is still going strong over there. We are also going to be going back to Twitch on the weekends, okay? Tedit's Gaming over on Twitch. So we're trying to get the word out to come over and join us there. And Marlos, you will be interested in this. After many months of negotiation with him, I finally gotten him to agree to play Apex. So Tedit's is making an Apex comeback.
Come on back,
I will be on the stream with him.
Okay.
Depending on the time, Marlos may join us. We're Apex guys.
Yes, bro. Yes, sir.
Apex so Tedit's making an Apex. I couldn't be happier. I've been working on that one. Obviously, I do better than the MLBPA because I got the deal done.
Yes.
I'm a little bitter.
Hey, now we need is Trevor to not be a game snob, bro. No,
had to do it. Had to bring it back. All right, real quick before we bring Mickey on, I want to go over our UFC predictions from last show. And if you don't like UFC, I got bad news. It's not going anywhere on this program. Marlos and I are huge proponents of the mixed martial arts, and we like to talk about it. We had what we thought was going to be a great fight this weekend. We both made the prediction, and we were both kind of right. We both picked the winner, but the method was Marlos. I thought knockout. Marlos called decision. Mm-hmm. So Marlos is the winner if we were keeping track. Colby Chaos Covington with the decision over Jorge. Shouldn't have the BMF belt, Masvidal.
Well, he doesn't anymore when he got clocked by Usman. So we'll leave that there. But nonetheless, let's call a spade. That fight sucked. Let me say that differently. I love wrestlers. I love wrestling. I wrestled most of my younger life as a Metro champion, all that good shit. However, when you're talking about a main event like this with all the you know, all the buildup that UFC was doing was built on their vitriol and how angry they were at each other and friends turned enemies. Oh my God, look at this. It's going to happen. And it turned into a fucking hug fest. And you know, granted, Colby was controlling the entire fight, and I understand the strategy. I'm not a casual in that sense. What I am saying is I expected a much more flashy banger of a fight, and we got a control session. While that's great, and I applaud him because he's fantastic. He's a fantastic wrestler. His motor is incredible. I tip my hat to everything he did. As a consumer watching for entertainment, I was disappointed. I would have loved for them to be a little more. I don't want to call it active because they were active, but they weren't active the way you wanted it.
Yeah,
right?
you would think guys who hate each other would punch a little harder
There
and
was
go a little
something
harder.
about it, yeah. And I was a little pissed with Jorge because, like, yo, and Ben Askren eventually ended up saying it, right? He's like, dude, you had 25 fucking minutes to do all this shit. You wait till after the fight to get all badass about it. Nah, homie. And I agree. Because you basically didn't, even when he fucking rocked Colby, and Colby was done. And I swear to God, yes, Jorge admitted it. You know, he's like, hey, I should have pushed at that moment, and I just didn't, and that cost me the fight. You're goddamn right it did. And you did all of that talking about how you were going to send him on a stretcher, and, oh, I'm gonna put him, he's going to have to go to the hospital, and you had every opportunity at that point to push. Now, that said, I understood he was tired. You could tell. He was burnt. And Colby was fucking him up the whole fight. And he got those couple punches off, couldn't follow him up. Colby went right back to his routine, gathered himself. Again, the difference in conditioning was so incredibly noticeable after round 2. From round 3 through 5.
Jorge's still partying.
Right. He was, yeah. Already,
he's still partying down in Miami.
Yeah, man. I mean, whatever. It was a good fight. I mean, it's a good fight. It could have been way better. I'm glad I didn't pay for it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But,
yeah. Well, I mean, we'll see what happens.
The
thing that sucks is Colby's now in no man's land. All right. He's
absolutely.
obviously heads and tails above anyone else in the division. The problem is that he's lost twice to the champ. UFC, unless they get real desperate, and I don't see that happening, is not going to let him fight for the belt again. Now,
well, not to mention that Usman Edwards fight is a better fight.
No, I agree.
Yeah,
there's guys there, and then like we talked about last week, he called out Israel Adesanya, which look, I appreciate your balls, but there ain't no way that's happening either.
Yeah,
the guy that impressed me before we move on, the guy I was most impressed with over the course, well, I'd say it's a tie, although Bryce Mitchell, I expected him to be that good. The one that really shocked me, and I think is if he keeps this up, it's going to be a problem, is Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland,
that's my guy.
Oh,
that's my guy.
He changes weight classes. Nobody knows what's going to happen. He goes out and puts on a clinic.
Yo,
like the whole division needs to watch that. He's a problem now. He's not up in the rankings. I get it. Yeah. He's a problem for that division, Los.
Yeah, and I think if nothing else, you'll have a better conditioned Kevin Holland. On top of that, because I follow him on Instagram. I also follow Brawler Bible, who obviously, works with him very, very closely. And seeing Kevin Holland spend so much time in wrestling, which is the only thing I don't want to say the only thing he's missing. That's a little ridiculous. But
that's just weaker than the other stuff.
It's the thing it is his weakness. Not even weaker. I'll straight say it. It's his weakness. Everyone says it. Everyone knows it. Every time he's fought a primarily wrestler, if he can't control the pace, he's in trouble. I think once he continues to improve in his wrestling, he's a hard dude to fight because that motherfucker. Number one, he's fucking crazy. Number two, his hands are great, are fucking great. What I am looking forward to, or hoping for in my UFC prayers, is that he and Sean Strickland go after it, because a lot of the fights that I've seen with Sean Strickland, he's been able to control pace and control the situation with just his little jabs and boxing, and he doesn't go for the kill. He's just controlling it because he has the reach, and he's an excellent striker. Don't get me wrong, he's excellent at it. But I think it's different when you're fighting a striker with pace, with a better pace, with a better motor, or better pace, because then you're not as easily able to keep him at a distance with jabs and jab and jab and jab and jab like he just did. That slipped my mind who he just fought it was a UFC fight night. And he said himself, he just kind of stuck out there, and that's all he did. A lot of people will say it's boring. I'm not gonna argue it. I'm not gonna agree. I'm not gonna argue. But I think that would be a good fight, and I'm looking forward to it. Kevin Holland's my guy. I'm a Kevin Holland fan no matter what. He's a weirdo. He's funny, but he's a great fighter, and he's one of those guys who I'm really rooting for to do really well.
Yeah, we'll be sprinkling in UFC all over the place depending on the cards. In my personal opinion, there's not a really good card until April 9th. But we'll see if we decide to talk about it.
Crazy.
We're definitely talking about that one. So the show before April 9th, so 9th, 8th, 7th, so the 5th or 6th. Yeah, forget it. We're talking UFC. Just get ready. And then last but not least, we're going to need a moment of silence here. I got word this week between last show and this show, very, very sad moment here. We lost another couple bat lives to the 525 balls. I want to. Yeah, let's bow our heads here for a moment of silence. All right, hey, let's move on. So anyway, I have a guest that I think will interest everyone. I was holding him out, and he's finally said, all right, that's enough. If I'm going to sponsor the program, I need to come on. And I agree with him because he's got a lot of really interesting ideas, and he's had a hell of a run to get to where he is in softball. So I know he's been waiting because he's always 20 minutes early. And by the way, Westcott, I'm actually happy about the DH. And you're right. We all just wanted bigger bags in Major League Baseball.
The bag without that's what we want. Nothing else matters. We need bigger bases. That's it.
Yeah, bigger bases.
That's all.
But I can't get bases that stay in the ground at Legacy. But Major League Baseball can get bigger ones. Come on. Gotcha. All right, let's bring him on. Brought to you by Letter Z in honor of Mickey this week. Let's get Mickey on. Oh, well, he's waiting in the new crib. I think today, right? You got into the new cribbage.
No, I'm actually at the old crib right now.
Oh, taking out the memories. Okay.
Yeah, so we're sitting on a mattress on the floor.
Sometimes when I like that. Sometimes
when I said I wanted an old school feel, I didn't mean homeless. What happened here? What happened?
We moved some small stuff today, and the movers are coming tomorrow to move the big stuff because I'm
man.
Doing that.
I think past the age of 35, you should just have a budget for movers.
30.
Just don't touch anything. 35,
30.
I said.
No, 30? No, I said 30. Fuck that. Like, when you 30 plus, who the hell's gonna come help you move?
Well, the 30s think they should be swinging senior bats, so I guess 30 will work.
Hey, I'm just saying, bro. Fuck that. And again, that meme, the meme that everybody always shares about, when you're over a certain age, nobody's gonna help you for some fucking pizza and beer. That's true. Yeah, that's true shit.
That's true.
I'm not moving my shit for a pizza and beer, let alone. Come on, man.
I need 20s. 20s is what I need to help you move.
I function in green completely.
Keep that crypto. I need something you can put my hand at the end of the move. Man,
I need green, and it's got to have the certain non-president on it. So.
All right, hold on. So Jason, the chat, you haven't even spoke yet, and the chat's already starting on you. Actually, it's Jason, who's nice enough to register his name at YouTube. That's why I'm going to bring it up. That's kind of a shot there. That's kind of a shot. I hope Mr. Zarr gives you the cold shoulder like he did to me this weekend. Jason Westcott is broken-hearted, Mickey.
He was wearing sunglasses, and I honestly walked right past him, and I felt terrible. And we ended up talking for a good 15, 20 minutes after that.
The crowd apparently liked that.
Yeah,
he does admit that he was going incognito that day, so I can't take all the blame for it.
He's just getting jealous. He can't play seniors yet. Don't worry, Jay. It's coming. The day will be here before you know it. Be sure to get your Hitman gloves. Yes, he's got the sweatshirt on. Whoever that is. If it's Jose, great. But if not, whoever it is. So anyway, welcome to the program, sir. As always, I tell you all the time, we appreciate the time and effort you put in our program and support us, whether it be on Facebook or when you're out there at the fields. I appreciate it. I know Marlos does. But what I wanted to do, obviously your area expertise is real estate for the most part. You do it a lot of minutes of the day, week, year, and I kind of wanted to get kind of an overview for dummies like me. Because I'm going to need a house here soon. My wife has had enough of this place. I like it, but she says the Funkos are taking over, so I need to get a bigger space. Marlos is laughing because he has a whole room at his place dedicated to it. I'm not there yet, but I'm getting there.
We're not talking about me, though. No.
So kind of maybe give an overview of how the market's looking and what you see happening and kind of stuff like that for dummy like me if I'm thinking about it, stuff like that.
Sure. So right now, I mean, as a lot of people have heard, it is a seller's market. If you're selling, you're controlling basically the entire transaction, down to you know how much people are paying for the house, what's being waived, what's being paid for, things of that nature. As a buyer, you're competing against other buyers right now. I have a couple buyers who, at this point, who have pre-qualification letters for amounts, right? And some of them are high amounts, but they don't have reserves to pay over appraisal at this point. And what that means is basically, let's say you have a house that the sales price is $425, and you needed a loan to pay for it, and it only appraises at $400. The bank's only going to give you $400. So you need to come up with the difference to make that transaction go through. And a lot of people don't have $25K, sitting in the bank just to do that with. And it's very difficult for buyers at this point who have a loan, unless they have those reserves, because you have to overbid. I mean, you're bidding against sometimes 6, 10, 15 other offers. It's rough out there at this point.
My wife's going to like this place then, one way or the other. I'm not good with blind competition. I like to see who the hell I'm going against. That's just tough for me. You get a phone call. Yeah, somebody. Who's this somebody, and where do they live? I need to have a conversation. So obviously, seller's market. What's the inventory looking like, considering there's all these bidders, and it doesn't sound like there's enough houses to go around even for the overbids.
No, man. I mean, a couple of days ago, I think it was the last time I checked single-family homes in the Valley, and
he probably had the internet shut off at the wrong time.
Mm-hmm.
Way to say it over again.
There we go.
There we go. We're back.
Hey, we're in and out there. I was afraid they shut the internet off right in the middle of the interview there.
Well, so
maybe somebody screwed up the dates.
I looked the other day, and it was under 5,000, and a comfortable inventory to have things kind of balanced would be anywhere between 16 and 24,000. So if you look in the middle of that at 20,000, that's 25% of what a comfortable inventory level is, which is absurd.
All right. Well, I'll just start working on selling a kidney here in the next week or two. I mean, I'm close enough to Mexico. I think I can get a good price for it.
Yeah, you don't need it. Maybe
I stopped, pretty much knocked off the alcohol, so I think I can be okay one for a while.
Yeah, you'll be good.
I can't have my lungs, though. I'm going to need them.
Sorry.
I try to make jokes because, I mean, I'm making a joke, but I'm half serious. Between gas prices and housing prices, like, I have to start selling off body parts to afford some of this stuff.
And a lot of people have equity sitting in their house, and they're like, hey, I want to sell my house to capture that equity, but what are you going to do?
What are you going to do after it? Yeah,
throw it right back in.
Yeah.
So that's tough. And renting, of course, is very expensive as well. So it's rough. It's tough right now, man. It is.
Yeah, I'm shocked that we're at the rent we are where we are, and
oh man,
I'm shocked. We're in such good shape with the rent. It went up. I think they ended up raising it was 12% where I'm at, and it was the first raise in 2 years. And I gladly was like, look, I'll give you 15 if it means you're going to leave me alone for a little while. That's how below market we are right now where I'm at. Now,
that's good.
Also keep in mind, when I first got here, the edge of the good, bad my imaginary good side, bad side line was probably 7 blocks farther south than I think it is now. So that the bad side's moving its way up Glendale. So I got to be careful there. But that's a whole nother discussion. I have cop friends and firearms. But so back to, let's get into the softball side of this. Now you came out here from Minnesota.
Wisconsin.
How much, wait, where, Wisconsin. I'm now seeing I just insulted every University of Wisconsin graduate and current student. You're welcome, Badgers. I'm a Penn State fan, so you're getting some hate, college football hate there. From the Cheese State, Wisconsin. How much ball did you play in Wisconsin, would you say?
Well, I moved out here, 11 years ago now, and in Wisconsin I played bar leagues and some rec and some unlimited arc, because the fall ball in Wisconsin was unlimited arc, and at the end of the season it was 20 degrees.
Unlimited. Oh God, I just got a little excited there. So you're saying, oh yeah, you think you're smart? Here's a 17-footer. It's gonna drop a foot behind the plate. You son of a bitch. I've tried it. We were always 12 back home with the ASA. I learned to throw them high. I liked how my face looked. Nobody else did, but I did. Not having it. Oh well, come on, Losh. You don't want to play in 20-degree weather?
Fuck no. Look, y'all don't understand the level of bitching I was doing under my breath. The last tournament that I played, U-Trip this past week, right? I spent half of that time bitching under my breath because it was cold. I don't play well in cold at all. I mean, well, I don't like cold. Let's call it that. And I know that there are a lot of people like both of you gentlemen who would laugh at me for the fact that, any number that starts with less than 6, I'm pissed because it's too fucking cold.
We can't laugh at you. And I'm going to ask Mickey now. About how many years in was it where you felt cold when the supposed winter came here? Because it happened for me, but I want to see, you've been here a little longer than me. I've been here 7, you've been here 11. So what was the first winter you went, oh shit, I just lost my Wisconsin card. I'm cold and it's like 55 degrees outside.
Probably the first or second one. I mean, anything under 70 degrees and I'm wearing a hoodie. I mean, here,
it happened 2 years ago and I was like, oh my God, they just pulled my East Coast card. I'm literally like, I'm putting on sweatshirt. I pulled Under Armour out for league night at Victory and felt guilty about it. Like, okay, that's enough. We're with you now, Los. We're in it too. I don't want to go back to Jersey.
It's awful, dude. It's awful. And especially once you get the wind, because, at least in other places, there's like cover. You have like, you have some up, some down, some buildings, things like that. Out here, it's fucking flat. So that wind is cutting through you. Yeah. And the wind is cold and cutting through you. Yeah. It's crazy. Plus, the other thing is, and this is not a slight against U-Trip, but U-Trip loves to play at Saguaro during the wind.
I saw that coming like a bullet.
Man, because like you get out there, ball starts in left field, ends up foul ball on the right side or on the other field on the right, on the right. You can't figure out what to do. I'm not a proponent of the cold. That's why I live in Arizona. So when it is cold, I'm usually mad. Like, the only thing I think that makes me madder is, of course, being east of the 17. But yeah, yikes! That unlimited arc stuff.
The new Blaze Rock T-shirt, East of the 17.
East of the 17.
Soon.
Hey, I'm gonna fuck around and make a whole ass album about that, dude. Like East of the 17. Nah.
Now, as far as senior ball goes, Mr. Zarr, you started AAA. Was that now? Did you have to start a team, or did you play with somebody before? How do we do this? Well, I don't want to say the name. I don't want to say the person, and you know who I'm talking about because, God forbid, I get pulled into a court case over a stupid internet show. So we won't even say his name.
My phone had probably been tapped for a while, but yeah, I hear what you're saying.
So I assume, is that where you started in seniors, AAA wise?
Yes, with that gentleman. Mm-hmm.
That gentleman who's innocent until proven guilty. I'll leave it at that if they want to use a clip.
No, that's no bonus.
Yeah. Now, I would say that you got a crash course in some of the senior ball politics playing on that particular squad. What were some of your more memorable experiences playing AAA here in Arizona?
Oh man, let's see. Dealing with the people who don't like other people. There's a lot of that. That was definitely something that we had on our team, and right away when I started, and I was like, wow, man, this is pretty crazy. Not like we didn't have that in Wisconsin, but it was
new level.
We're spending a lot more time with these people at a tournament, and sometimes 2 days. So sometimes it blew up, and there were different personalities on that team and whatnot, and I can't say the coach made it any better, but. It is what it is.
Unnamed
coach, yes.
I don't know. Marlon's got the googly out there for a second, but I think he's actually working on something. That wasn't the answer.
I'm working on something, but I you know me. Look, I as somewhat of a PSA for the for the audience, I'm not with that shit. I'm not talking about nobody, and I'm kind of going to where Mickey's even saying it's like I'm not with that stupid shit. Like some of these teams that get the, doing a lot of fucking girly ass, mean girl crying and bitching, and I don't like him. I'm angry at him. I don't fuck with that. Like as soon as that shit starts happening, I'm out the door. I'm the other way. And even here, I'm not doing that shit. Like if it's some negativity, if it's some foolishness, if it's some dramatics or some theatric fucking weird shit, I'm not with that, dude. And because I don't think that's appropriate for softball. Plus, we're too fucking old. And I got daughters, bro. Let them do that shit. I got sons. I got teenage kids and shit. Let them do that shit. And even when they do, I'm like, nah, man. That's why I was like,
Dude,
nope,
that's what the show should be
nope.
sponsored by.
Straight up.
The cut. The cut.
Nope.
A couple teenage stepdaughters, and honestly, the drama that goes on in senior softball is worse than what they come home.
Oh yeah.
It's awful.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's weird.
I can't tell you how many times I'm at I'm at BP, and I'm not necessarily BPing with with those people. But I'll be at BP, I'll be hitting. We're over there, we're doing what we're doing, shooting the breeze, and you can just hear some of the other other players or other whatever, and they're just like, yeah, you see such and such, yeah, he fucking sucks, blah blah blah. You see him that weekend, and they're all hugged up. Hey, bro, I haven't seen you in a long time. Fuck out of here, bro. Nah, we're not doing that. That's weird.
That's not how it. No, man. Look, we're
weird.
trying to, a little part of the show was trying to bring a little more positivity in and pick dudes up. But
absolutely,
some people ain't changing no matter what happens. So now let's go into sunnier pastures for you. You've moved on from AAA, and now you're playing on one of the premier 40 major teams at Blue Point.
Yeah.
Now you have a rare perspective that I want to bring to, and it's promoting that. Boy, I know what you're talking about.
Hey, I'm surprised Carlos hasn't hit me up for one of these hats yet.
I just wants a jersey.
Hey,
hats is a whole nother game, bro.
We getting the hats on this conversation, man. It's a whole different ballgame. You got to bring a whole thing. And I will say this for me. You want me to ask for a hat? It's probably wrong side. I forget the flip. It's probably got to have that flag on it. I am very, very, very particular about the hats that I wear or the hats that I purchase. No offense to the design. I love good design. Design is design. I'm feeling the BP as it is. But I get kind of snobbish, pinky up completely when it comes to hats. I've been on Mark about a particular hat that he purchased not too long ago for a team that will remain nameless because fuck, who cares about that team?
That's all right. I got the Iverson jersey coming, bro. You ain't got it. You ain't just don't subtweet me.
No,
don't you subtweet me. You call me out on it.
I'll give you some room there when it comes to AI, bro. If you'd have came out talking about, I'm gonna get this Embiid jersey. The gorilla's
I got bad news because I went to the same fake person overseas, and I'm getting the Black Iverson, and I got one of the Spectrum Series Embiid jerseys because I don't know who else to get. Like, nobody's safe. I don't know how long Harden's staying, but Embiid has always been a Philly guy, a process guy. He's always bought into the city. He showed. It's funny that him and Ben came in kind of together because Embiid showed how to win Philly over, and Ben showed you exactly how not to act if you're playing in Philly. So anyway, don't shit on my Sixers. I'm here for it.
Hey,
I'm moving on. We actually have an interview and we break out with a sports analogy.
Yeah.
But what I was saying was, you have a unique perspective. The conversation, no matter how much I try to push it away from, is rankings. This team should be here. This guy should that. That bad. Speaking of bitching, and whoever said I'm not even 40 and you feel like you're getting pulled in, you kids aren't innocent either. So just relax over there. Calm down. You have the unique perspective to talk about the differences between AAA and major, because I think there's a lot of misconceptions. A guy have a good game against somebody and suddenly he's major plus, or a team will do well and so, they got to get bumped because 9 times out of 10, the person saying it, somebody got beat by that team.
Jealous.
So you have the unique perspective to add into the conversation, the differences that you've seen from your perspective between AAA and major. Now that you got some time of major under your belt, what would you say you've seen so far?
I think, I'll start off by saying, like, gameplay itself, being an outfielder, there aren't as many cans of corn and flares as there are in AAA. A lot of very, very hard hit balls and guys that can kind of direct where they're hitting it. Not saying that there aren't guys in AAA that can do that, but it's a lot more of that in majors, right? A lot.
That guy's one of them, but yes.
That was a huge difference for me being an outfielder. Is the hitting is so much better. And from what you were saying about players, my Wisconsin just came out. A boat, sorry.
A boat, yeah.
Yeah, it's all right, man. Hey, look, we all got a guy. It's all right. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
But the way there's AAA players on many different teams that should be playing major. And Mark, you and I have talked about this, and I don't think that teams should be moved up per se. My personal opinion, I think that players should be moved up, and I'm the one that's kind of been pushing that draft idea, that on social media. I mean, I don't know if we can ever get it to work, but it's, to me, there aren't players that are ready to make that move, and there are players that are ready to make that move.
Okay,
But
so
then
what separates a AAA from a major player then for you? What's the separation?
Somebody who has more back control, somebody who plays in the field, has a better arm, can catch, isn't missing grounders and fly balls, and I mean, I don't know, I guess.
Yeah, we definitely got too many catchers, so that's why I laughed when you said play the field.
Right, of course. So here's my question. This is the same thing that I always pose to Mark. How do you quantify those things? Everybody, because a lot of people say, and I apologize, I want to add, I know a lot of people kind of agree with what you said. And I think fundamentally, Mark agrees with it, and to an extent, I agree with it. But the question I always ask, because I'm a practical person, the question I always ask is, how do you quantify that in a manner that can be applied across? Because of course, if you it has to be something that can be quantified and also applied all the way to from division down to division, to the first player to the lowest player. How do you do that?
Are you talking about who qualifies as a major player to get drafted? And
well, kind of how you said, first, of course, that, like you said, but first, you mentioned, I believe there are players that should be, that could move up, and obviously there's some that shouldn't. Yeah. And then you said, here's some things that qualify them. Well, how do you quantify that player? So as an example, I'll make it a little different. So as an example, if you have a guy who's like, let's say he plays the corners, he's playing on a team that isn't that good. They're getting out there. They're, let's say it's a 3-game guarantee. They get out there. They're out of there, by noon. 3 games, they're done. But that guy's really, fundamentally capable of playing at the higher level. On the other hand, you have another team that's, getting in the top 5 every week, et cetera. They're playing a bunch of games, and this player's marginal. I'm not going to say he's bad. I'm not going to say he's good, but how do you determine which one of those guys is someone who should be up or not? Because ultimately, the only viewpoint you have is during games.
Right. So I think you have to talk to not only that person's coach, but also the opposing coaches as well. Because if they're doing things that are making them stand out, the other coaches are also going to notice them as well and be like, hey, that dude was pretty good.
Of course.
He was locking down third, or he made some great throws, or he didn't make an out, or whatever, right? Are we going to talk about this 800 thing?
No, he don't want to talk about it. I said it, and the look on his face said, "Don't you ever say that again on camera." So no, I don't think we should.
Nah.
That's why I'm being quiet when I do it over here. I don't get to be, we don't do the Hollywood Squares thing too often with the 3 screens.
Right.
So every time you mention something I think applies to him, it's very easy. I just keep quiet and just go. So I don't have to interrupt the answer.
And the worst part, of course, is because I'm doing some of the production and looking at the streams and looking at over here and over there.
There's
I'm
no
not
idea.
really seeing it. Yeah, it's all bad. It's all bad.
But I mean, that's the big question, right? Because the problem is, I think a lot of guys make the mistake of screaming out about ranking and where a guy should be based on the eye test. And there's no way, in my mind, my opinion, you should ever rate a guy based on an eye test. There should be some kind of quantification, big word, whether it be you can't trust stats, because I'll tell you right now, I know for a fact 70% of the majors or the 70% of the senior teams do not keep a book well enough to know those stats.
Yeah, there's way
so now you're talking about a director has to go and literally sit at the backstop for games, which I thought I'd be able to do. Then I got to U-Trip and realized that's not happening. I'm lucky if I catch 2 games in a complete tournament. The only ones I usually get to see are the ship games because I'm waiting to give out prizes. Or if there's a problem, but then if there's a problem, I can't stay there. I got to take care of it and get out. So that's the only part of the job that I regret. I can't see more of the players. And then with this ranking things coming down the pipe, I'm going to have to figure something out to get that data myself.
The one thing I do think also, though, is to a point you made about the scorebooks, there's too much range in what a particular coach or a particular scorer believes to be a hit, or, there's so much difference in how they score. And I'm not saying one's right, one's wrong. I'm simply saying there is that much of a spectrum between teams. There are teams that'll take a guy kicks it off his foot, an easy play kicks it off his foot, and they'll still count it as a hit. There are other teams, of course, where you really have to put this ball in play, and it has to be there for them to call it a hit. So that becomes difficult. And then the other thing is, in some cases, you got to question. I know we all talk about the drama part, right? But we don't want to take into the account that if we're going off of the statements of the same people who are creating said drama, why are we all of a sudden trusting them to be impartial and objective and et cetera? And so that's why I always defer right back to how do we quantify what is a AAA player versus a major player or conference player? I was almost going to say major plus, but how do you quantify that so that everyone knows what they need to do or knows what allows them to be in that in that conversation? I think naturally speaking, everyone sees certain players and oh, that dude can do what he does, or that dude's really good, or that one sucks.
Yep.
We all kind of know that. But when we start counting on the objectivity of the same people we're saying are not objective, that's where I think the circle begins again, where we're talking about how people see one dude goes out there, sings 4 or 5 home runs. Everybody's like, nah, he should be a major. Get him up out of here. And little do they know that the very next tournament he goes 0 for 10, right? There's got to be something that's quantifiable. There's got to be something that is independent of a particular director watching every single game, which is impossible. I think it's difficult. I think it's going to have to be a combination of a lot of pieces, and I think it's going to have to take away a lot of the level of eye testing that goes on. I think anything that minimizes that is going to be somewhat more successful in our area.
And Mick, I think you're going to say something there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I lost my train of thought. No big deal. It wasn't that important.
Yes, that's totally on theme with the show. Thank you, sir.
I think I was going to say that why don't we use the A1 rankings as the above it? I'm just kidding.
You broke up there. I think your internet went out. I didn't. It didn't. Yeah, it didn't. I didn't. It was like static or something. It was weird. Like right at that moment, I couldn't understand what you were saying.
Someone in the chat said something. Someone in the chat said, develop a rating system. I've actually put it on the stream. Develop a rating system: hitting, fielding, running, throwing.
I think it's a good idea, but who's doing it?
How do you do it? It goes right back to the same problem. It goes right back to the same issue. Who's doing it? Because you have to have someone ultimately, if you're going to do that, if you're going to have a rating system, you really do have to have someone that's going to be objective. And that objectivity is still going to be, for the most part, based on some type of rubric that quantifies that performance. Who develops that rubric? And if you say, okay, let's get a bunch of coaches who are respected, let's get some directors. Okay, we've developed the rubric. Now, who does the scoring? And how does that scoring play out? How does a team who plays 1 tournament a month compare to a team or set of players who are playing 3 tournaments a month? Do you only rate based on 1 sanction, or do you rate on all sanctions or all games? That's where it starts to get a little more complicated. At the same time, you guys, I know you probably agree with me. A lot of the confusion about the rankings really come down to the fact that there are a limited number of teams as a whole that can compete at the higher level or even at the lower level. Because let's be honest, if there's 25 teams in AAA, there's 10 of them that are food. Call it what it is. There are 10 of them that come out and they are essentially padding other teams' stats. They are food. Then you have a good 10 or so that are right in there in the middle that are scrounging and fighting for the scraps, getting getting the meat, right? Then you've got that 5 or so that day in, day out, week in, week out, month in, month out are going to be competing for the top spots. So my question is, if you're playing mostly food, does that make you better or worse than the top 5 teams that are there playing, 7, 8 games a weekend or something like that? Then you run into the situation, of course, where teams that start losing, they quit. The players that start getting on losing teams, they quit. And then the other thing we don't like to admit is if you're not out there longer than 3 or 4 games, most people don't see you and they don't see what you're doing. You could literally have a dude who's hitting 700, 800 week in, week out, getting doubles, triples, masterful in the field, and because his team is in and out, you're never seeing him. So it's very difficult to apply.
That's what I was gonna. Yeah. I was just gonna add in that I love how guys scream about they should be major, but what you don't take into consideration is where. You have to have the opportunity. And let's face it, 75, 80% of guys don't want to run a team, let alone start one.
Absolutely.
They want to show up and play. Some guys, are lucky enough they don't have to pay. They can just show up and play. Some still pay. They're happy to pay, as long as they could just show up and go out in the field and play.
I'm putting up a comment from an esteemed gentleman. I know who he is, but I won't say who he is for the stream. You'll have to go look if you're interested on Facebook. But one thing he says, which I know I've bitched about it the last few shows that we've had about rankings, he says, only way to do it is off of team success, and then evaluate the players that don't belong up with a reclassification process. I'm gonna say, I agree with a lot of it. Because again, it's hard, right? I agree with a lot of that. I think that's also the difficulty that we just addressed, because you do have a lot of teams who aren't really good. And they may have 2 or 3 players who are really good. And then, so when that team is getting dog walked 3 straight and up out the door, that player essentially suffers. Now, yeah, the idea is we all believe this player is that good, he's going to move to a better team, or another team's going to pick him up. Or, he's going to sub for a team and all of a sudden he's going to move up or whatever. But is that really happening that often in senior? Because if it were, I wonder would we still get the same amount of complaint about, there's not enough major teams, or there's too many AAA teams. I think a lot of that happens because you do have to move up with a team. You can't be a AAA team with 3 awesome borderline major players and a bunch of average, not good players and win in AAA.
No, not majors.
You can't, but you can't even do it in AAA. So
no, you need a team game in AAA, and that's the difference.
And that's especially in major. Like Mickey has alluded to it in simply what he said about the fact that once he went to major, seeing how you weren't seeing all these pops, you weren't seeing all these canned corn, you weren't seeing all these little blooper baby shots and stuff like that. You're seeing freaking bullets left and right. And my question becomes, if a team is struggling in AAA, why are we pretending that just by saying, go up to major, they're not going to struggle there too? That's ridiculous. They're going to get beat worse. I mean, if the numbers balance out the way people are saying it, and that I think is the farce of all the ranking complaints, right? Every team that's winning should move up.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I agree there. Absolutely.
That's what ends up happening. A team starts winning. And when I say that, they're winning against their peers. They're winning, and I'm not saying they're going out there and 25-0 in everybody left and right. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying they're going out and winning. All of a sudden, that means they should leave. They should move up. Like that's weird, because then what happens when the next team fills that void? They move up too? How do you classify what moves up?
I think it's an individual, as long as we're still in the team thing. And right now, let's just face it, that's how it is.
Yes.
It's an individual basis. Each team should be judged on their own merits. Okay.
And that's what I think is dope from men's or from co-ed and from women's. I think that is the thing that I don't understand about a lot of the senior teams who complain. All the other divisions are literally ran off of the team. I don't know any B players that go, hey, I'm gonna go play on a D team. It doesn't work. That's
right, where you're locked in.
Right?
You know exactly where you can go and what you can do.
You start on a team that's an E team and you move up. And if you don't move up, you're still an E player, bro.
This is why we're gonna take the hit when we come out with these player rankings. I don't have, as the process starts to reveal itself, this is where you're gonna come to get the information, because I'm going to talk about it. Vic knows that, and he's cool with that. So my hope is that as we move on and get more involved in this and get a framework, and you get to kind of see the process happen over the course of the year or months or however, because you can go back and watch these shows. I'm going to have an update once I have something to report. We're really only setting meetings right now. Wait, no, hold on. Let me correct something. Ranking system by age. It's not a ranking system. It's literally an age group. So there's a big difference between the age group and the ranking.
Right.
What we're trying to do is streamline UTRIP D, E, C into seniors, so everything will correlate. So if you're a C and kids, I always just call it kids. If you're playing C's and you're under 40, when you come up, there's going to be a correlation. Once you turn 40, you were C there. Now you're this in seniors.
Right.
Was that text from God? What
I don't know. It wasn't me. That's I was like, hey,
that was weird. I was like, "What I do, man?
That's,
what?"
Hey, that's Mickey right there, dude. Hey, that's
oh,
money. That's money notifier, bro. When you hear that notification, there's ching.
Here comes the money. Dollar bills, y'all. So eventually, and I think right now the rule as it's written, and I'm 85% correct, is that be elite or higher is supposed to, or no, I'm sorry, higher than be elite, you have to play conference by the U-Trip rule. And that was rolled out for this year. And Bob worked on some re-rankings to get some guys to be elite because they hadn't played under that ranking for longer than 3 years. And I didn't feel that was fair that they couldn't play majors. They're never going to see AAA unless they have some kind of medical reason, but at least they should be able to play majors, I felt like.
Right.
But then again, which I think, Mick, you and I have talked about in text messages, that also became an issue at the Challenge Cup because we had different state directors operating under different what they perceived to be the rules on the rankings, the U-Trip rankings for guys translating to seniors. And since it was the first Challenge Cup, it was kind of, Vic was running around trying to put out fires, different interpretations, and obviously that's something we're working on, especially from the senior side. I can't speak for the co-ed, the mixed, the men's. I can't speak for that stuff, but for the seniors, I know we're already working on that, try to avoid some of the same pratfalls we had, last January there, or not last year, but January. So hopefully we can get that figured out. But I mean, when we bring these things out, these player rankings, we're going to take a hit. There will be the sandbaggers who will reveal themselves by playing in other sanctions where they're allowed to play at a lower ranking. I'm okay with that. At the end of the day, I'll take one step back to go two forward. Those are not the kind of people that I want, that I depend on for integrity. We'll just say, if you need to dominate at a tournament, God bless you. I don't know what your drive is. I don't know what your motivation is at that point. Beating on people who are a little less than you. It says a lot about the person. So, but there are certain guys at major town playing AAA that just never got an opportunity, never got an offer, and they're not going to sit home. That's always my retort. So what are they supposed to do? Sit home?
Right.
If they don't get an offer, that's not fair. And they shouldn't be forced to start a team to be able to play in tournaments. So yeah,
I feel like
we're going to have guys.
I feel like a lot of the people that use that start a team shit have never actually run a team.
1,000%.
I believe that because
we got three guys here who all.
I was going to say the three of us can easily say running a team is not, 1, easy, 2, for everybody, and 3, should not be an alternative just because you want to play. I think that I think anybody who says that is completely devoid of the perspective of what it takes to field a team. I'll just say field a team. I won't even say field a good team. I'll just say field a team. That's very difficult. I don't think that's fair. I don't think everyone's built for that. Everyone's not a coach. Everyone's not an organizer. Everyone's not a manager of people, a leader of men, etc. If that were the case, then yeah, we'd have 100 teams and everybody would be ranking, right? Because then we're right back to the same problem. You start a team, move up, and then you've got a glut in one division, and you're right back to the other. It's a never-ending cycle. I know it.
Yeah.
I enjoy talking about it because we get to poke holes in some of the simpler excuses or reasonings for these differences. But
yeah, I mean, look, I've ran, like I said, the three of us have all run a team in one way, shape, or form, and I think guys, they do it for the wrong reasons a lot of the time. And the thing I look at, right? So if I don't want to call it legacy, but something that makes me not regret trying to do it and not regret coaching and sticking with it as long as I did is I look and I see where's 5 at is still together, and that team is 80% of what I happened to start with help. Obviously, it wasn't just I clap my hands and there was Ted at skate. No, a lot of those guys on that team put the work in to help me either recruit a couple guys or calm situations down. And over the course of tournaments, I want to choke Dave Taylor sometimes, but I will give him his props too in that before he went major, he was a huge help to me in coaching and just different perspective, that kind of thing. So, I could kill him on dumb shit, but I also have to give the credit where it's due for what he at least helped me with. Everybody else may have a different story. I'm just speaking from my experience. And he's still a pain in my ass. Yeah, so we're going to take the hit, but running a team, my greatest thrill is that those guys are still doing it with,
totally.
a lot of the guys that I started with. And that was my only regret, is that I couldn't fulfill what I promised those guys. I just was too burnt out. I was too angry. I would get up angry on a Saturday morning like, oh, God, here we go again. Is it going to be an umpire? Is this guy going to show up? Or how many do I have? And you could call him 17 times about, you're definitely coming. You're definitely coming. And then they're a half hour late for the 8 o'clock game that you told them to be there 7:30 for. Because you try to learn certain people, you got to tell a different time. Well, you're really not getting there till 7:45, but you tell them 7:15 because that's about what it's going to take to get them there.
Yeah.
Like that kind of shit. People don't want to deal with that.
Nah, it's a headache. It's a headache.
You know what that reminds me of?
Well, I was going to say, Mick, what are some of your experiences running teams?
First thing I want to say about that is that reminds me of back when I used to manage bars and restaurants, when you'd have the really good-looking hostesses who would never be on time, and I could never fire them because the owners wouldn't let me. So after a while, we had to start scheduling them a half hour to an hour earlier, so that way they would actually be there when they were supposed to be. And it was ridiculous. I mean, it was stupid, but I had to do it that way because they wouldn't let me can them.
It's all bad.
Anyways, what you were saying about people not coming on time, things of that nature, managing adults who should already know how to do those things. Yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough. You should know how to manage.
Not the thing. The thing that surprised me when I first started running a team was there were things I anticipated I would have to deal with. Okay, whether it be personalities or drama or all the stuff I have a long list. What shocked me was the things that bothered or took most of my time were things that I never thought in a million years that I would have to manage, let alone even talk about when it came to a softball team. Mm-hmm. I still marvel at that. Some of the conversations I had to have, guys, like I felt like a principal, and they were 5-year-olds that I caught writing bad words on the wall with crayon. Like that's literally how I felt with the conversations, that I almost had to not talk down to them, but speak on a lower level that I would equate to a young infant just learning words.
Agreed.
For them to understand what the hell I was trying to say. Mm-hmm. And that's why I feel like I'm either liked or hated. There's not a lot of middle ground for me with people from my coaching. Some appreciated the bluntness and others needed their hand held more than I was willing to hold it.
But I think that's the if you think about it, you can liken it to any type of leadership position. You're going to have people under your purview that are going to adhere to what you consider the norm without you even trying, without you saying a word. And there are others who simply will not understand that or don't give a shit, right? And those are the worst, because you're trying to adapt your moment, your conversations, your communications, your expectations to a number of moving parts. There's someone in the
there's
two
chat that I want to bring up.
Yeah,
you're going to the chat.
A couple in the chat that one of them said, and forgive me, I'm not looking at the actual name, so that if anyone knows, they know that by now. Running a team is not easy, especially when, let's face it, they thinks they're the top pick and going pro next week. He also says, I understand the rankings, but to rank a team by the next week won't be the same team the following week is going to be hard.
That's
I
legit.
absolutely agree.
Legit.
That is so
1,000% legit.
Absolutely on point. Absolutely on point. And it's true.
I mean, especially, granted, the major teams are all pretty set. Like we talked about, it's tough to even get an offer to try out.
Right.
So the AAA teams, you see at every tournament, some AAA teams are always struggling to get those bottom 3 guys, the 11, 12, 13 guys. We struggle with that on Teddits, Mick, in another place, you've run with Where's 5 At when they were hurting for guys. You ended up going out to help them out. And I think you were 11 that tournament. So a lot of AAA teams have trouble getting, I don't want to call them bench guys, but guys who, won't necessarily play every inning of every game.
Guys
may need to pinch run.
Right.
The glue guys.
Right. There you go.
Sorry, when I hear it, I'm just right in a PR mode there, man.
Yes, I see that. And I love it. I love it.
And the ShamWow, 1995. Anyway.
No.
So, those are tough guys. And then, half of those guys you hear through the grapevine, I play league with him. Yeah, pick him up. You get a recommendation or really weak, like, yeah, he can play. Whatever you get based on the recommendation. Then they get there like, what do you mean I'm not playing every inning in the game? All right, hold on here, buddy. I guys try out where the first time I sat them down, I did it to test them. I did it on purpose to test them. And the reaction told me everything I needed to know.
Right.
And a lot of them, I might as well go home. Well, don't let me stop you. You know what I mean? Like if that's where you're at. The one I saw was it won't make a difference. Was that in reference to when we do the individual player rankings, the PRVs? In chat, that one bothered me because there was no context, so I can't
that was a little
really
awkward.
respond without it.
I didn't respond. I mean, I didn't put it up. I didn't even point it out, largely because it lacked context, and it seemed like it may have been referenced to a statement previous about the age group thing and the some of the implications of what would be
all right. That caught me off guard. And I just want, if somebody's still watching, throw it out there. Feel free to tell me what you meant, and I'll be more than happy to answer. Yeah, I guess it might be easier running a team of 22-year-olds, but let me add something that you didn't have in your comment about it being easier because you don't have to worry about them getting drunk. Yes, we're setting our ways much more. I understand that. Seniors, I agree. But here's the problem with the 22-year-olds. You better get a whole team of married guys, and even then, because I've seen way too many teams in the last 6 months here in Arizona have a major roster shakeup because somebody's ex or somebody's current went with the wrong dude on the team.
I don't even like the implication that the age groups or the association. That's
there's
bullshit.
Bad shit with all of them.
Yeah, I was gonna say
it's just
bullshit.
Different.
Because let's be honest, dude, there are dudes who are married and 45, 50 years old and are just as fucking stupid as the 22-year-olds you're talking about. I don't think that really applies. And
I just
as
meant
somebody who's played in both, I know you did, but I'm just saying, as somebody who's played with both, like, I've played senior, obviously. I still play, younger balls, and I've been in those situations where you got them young dudes who's just out there to have a good time, snort enough, drink enough, smoke enough, whatever. I've been around them. I've been around the old dudes who bitch and complain about having to play more than 3 games and shit like that. The complaints, the problems, the issues that occur are the same. How you apply them, they are the same. How you deal with them, they are the same. It's a difficult situation all the way around.
Meg, I think they see you on that white background and they think you're asleep. Chat just asked if you were awake. And yeah, we get on rambles. I admit it.
I'm just listening.
Well, here, I want to get you involved in this discussion.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
So next week we are picking the games for pool. There's no system, no rankings, none of that for next tournament. It's our tournament, so we're doing what we want. This is how we're exuding our power. We're going to pick the matchups that we want to see in the pool games. So now I'm not going to ask you about majors because you're supposed to say you can play anybody and we'll beat them because that's what you do for your good team. Right. But on the AAA side, a lot of those guys. You sponsor 2 of those teams, which, by the way, guys, get your act together and get them some goddamn clients or you're not going to have a sponsorship anymore. He didn't say that. I said that. And one of them I got a little connection with. So can we get up off our asses and make something happen? Where's 5 at? Thank you.
Hey, but hold on, bro. Hold on, fam. Hold on, fam. Our esteemed colleague here, Mickey Zarr, he just fucking said there's like 500 houses available. I know I'm exaggerating, so it doesn't matter. There's like 500 houses available. What the fuck are they gonna? What the fuck are they gonna refer?
Wait, partner. No. Hey, partner. When has a problem stopped you from trying to solve it?
Hey, man, I'm just saying, like, I'm just talking shit because I like to be.
You sound like a major guy sandbagging AAA. That's what you sound like right now.
I know it.
Well,
they gotta get that but we don't have enough. We don't have enough houses to get referrals. Well, shit, refer them any damn way.
Hey, he's still paying his bills. He's still selling houses every day. So what's the excuse of the teams?
Man, I'm just.
He does the hard work over here, Lowe's.
I'm just being a contrarian, bro. I don't really know. I'm just saying it.
You want to know what I would reply to that? If that was
yeah, we're almost done our little spat. I'm still laughing at contrarian. Please go ahead.
Yes, I would tell them that that if they're worried about the inventory, if you refer clients who are looking to sell their home, obviously
thank you.
That is a phenomenal lead right now. Someone looking to sell their home, maybe they're moving out of state or whatnot, and also someone who's looking to buy who may have those reserves who can pay over the appraisal.
There you go.
They're out there.
There you go.
That would be my rebuttal to that.
Hey, bro, you see that in the chat? My bad. I jumped
I did,
off,
but
'cause
I feel
got
bad.
hyped, bro.
I feel bad asking him about major teams, but I guess if 50, well, Amigos is claiming, I don't know which player from Amigos. It might not be Amigos. I don't know. It's Facebook user, but Amigos wants to play Blue Point. I was just going to ask Mickey what he thought good AAA matchups would be, because it's not fair. I know where his allegiance lies in major, so I'm not worried about that. I don't want to put him on the spot where he's going to have to, some other team's like, I saw you on Glue Guys, and you didn't say you wanted to play. I'm keeping him out of that shit. Your drama, keep it at home. We're just talking about AAA right now.
Do you know why they said that? Because
I have no idea.
A couple times in the last tournament, so that's why that was brought up.
So we may have a revenge factor. Well, we're taking notes.
Hey, I've been the one that's been on social media saying that they're a great team, man. They kicked our ass. I mean, it is what it is.
I love it. Yeah,
they're a good team, dude. So,
but like,
anyway.
so do I take your two? Do I take your two sponsored teams? And do I put them together and like we have winner take all? Like, I mean, I don't know what to do here. I know I got a couple matchups in my head already for AAA that Marlos and I have talked about, but we're pretty open on the other ones, and we're going to finalize the team list Sunday. So Sunday's your last day to register to get in the Glue Guys Invitational. So if you haven't yet, or your coach hasn't, it's Sunday, man. I got plenty of teams. I'm not begging. So get your act together and let's go. Act right.
Let me ask you this. Who are you going to put against BTL? Are you going to take like 5 teams, best players, and then put them against BTL?
Dead ass, right?
What? So you tell me I got to put an all-star team together for them?
Yeah. Hey, triple play them, dude. Get 2 teams against them. 2 teams against them, bro.
I know one team right now that wants it bad to play BTL, and I'm going to make it happen because they claim they're going to be the ones to beat BTL.
Okay.
That's what they tell me in private. So I'm not going to sell anybody out.
I like
I'm not going to sell anybody out.
Smoke, bro. I like it when a team wants to smoke. You already know, man.
Now here's the funny part, though. Just so you know, 3 or 4 of their players said the same thing. They want the shot at BTL.
Man,
but then the fifth one's like, yeah, but we only got like 70% of our team.
We right back on that. We right back on it. Nope. Y'all want the smoke? Get the smoke.
Like that if you don't have a full squad, I think
tough shit. You're gonna have a full squad as far as players go. I don't care about your talent level.
Yeah,
don't come out.
Come out. And show
up. that matchup is going to happen. We've already determined that one is going to happen. Beyond that, though, everything's kind of open. I said last week we're taking requests.
Yes,
put them in, baby. You want to hear TLC? You want to hear Nas?
I just
John Mayer.
Brother, I don't care.
Hits and where's 5 at?
Yeah, in pool play, that's fine. Obviously, I don't like it when they play each other in the bracket because then one of them's getting beat. But pool play,
they should learn.
I like.
We're gonna have the highest viewership ever for the program next week. I have a really funny feeling.
It's gonna be crazy. I agree.
What they don't realize is they need to come in this week to get it in our heads to make it happen. I'm not going to change anything by the time we get to next week's show. It's already going to be done.
Crazy.
So all in the chat next week, so and so should play. I don't care. It's already done. We're not retyping anything. So you better come to this one and tell us. I'm good with that. I like hits. Where's 5 at? I think that's a good matchup actually. There's former Teddit's players on hits, which is now where's 5 at. So there's guys that have played together. There's some familiarity there, as I pronounce that wrong. That's a Philly way. So yeah, that could be an interesting matchup. There's a lot of storylines there. Not to get all Vince McMahon about it, but yeah, there's definitely some storylines there that we can play off of. Also, at least I will, depending on Marlos' schedule with the games, we're going to be calling at least 1 or 2 games that weekend.
It's going to be fun.
So we just got to figure out the scheduling because Marlos has committed to play. So I got to make sure he's not playing when we do this because I want us both to do it. I don't want to do it by myself. I am not good as a singular voice.
Hey man,
I don't want to be the voice.
Hey, if we
got him. I've been trying for 45 goddamn minutes and I got him. End the show. Fuck it. That's what did it. That's what.
Boy.
Damn it. Boy. Damn it. Inside jokes. Either you get it or you don't.
I was gonna say. I was gonna say I wouldn't be averse to even calling a game from a game while in a game. But
Oh,
damn,
the
bro.
Mookie Betts live mic.
Yes,
I'm not getting that one, boys.
Bro.
I'm not
down.
chasing that one, fellas.
I so love that. But I love it. But yeah, and that would be me dead ass. I'd be like, yeah, you know what? I'm not getting that. I'm not even gonna run after it.
Third base. He's gonna smoke this one down the line, and I ain't even moving.
Yo, he smoked that. He hit that hard.
That's a great hit, sir.
Man,
good job.
Salute. I will do that. Not for nothing. That's what I do on the field anyway. I'm doing that most of the time.
Mick, we're gonna need to up that sponsorship something fierce. I need wireless mic, probably camera angle up on the fence.
Look, I'm telling you, I am comedy on the field. I'm not gonna lie. I am comedy on the field because I'm usually talking shit to my own team. When I played with Mark a while back. Yes, when I played with Mark a while back, I used to do it to him. He'd be on the mound, he'd get frustrated. I'd be like, dude, why are you mad? He'd look at me like, what the fuck? I'm like, what are you mad about? Like, there's chicken nuggets over there. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, now, can you pitch a strike? Because I'm tired of standing here. I'm fat. I've been standing here for a while. What's up, dude?
Dude, you remember when you pulled the Bull Durham on me in Vegas?
Hey, bro, that's how I get down, bro.
Because I was getting mad about an unnamed shortstop not fielding ground balls. I was getting really fucking aggravated, and you knew I was at my line before I was going over, and you turn around, you turn around, a guy hit a bomb into the mat at a Rio Grande. Yeah. You turn around and went, boy, that one went a long way. Think you hit the bull, man, and I just lost it. I just lost it. The ump's like, are we going to play? I'm trying to collect myself, laughing. I'm ready to fall on the ground.
And then I started talking to the Blues, too. I talked to the Blues, too. I was going to be like, yeah, man. I mean, dude, you just see how far I hit that ball? How do you expect him to pitch? Come on. I'm surprised
Mickey likes to talk to the Blues.
Yeah, man.
Mick, you want to talk about your protest on first base that tournament, or are we gonna go over that one?
I refused to leave until they went and got me.
Yeah, I was gonna say you had to sit in at first base. But now look, knowing the situation and the people involved, I was actually 100% okay with that.
Crazy.
And I will say and I will say this publicly. The way you came and handled the situation was the way you had to come in and handle the situation.
I appreciate that. I don't get that very often.
As somebody who has managed others in an employment setting before, you did what you had to do there.
It's always fun.
I was pissed at you for like a day, and then we were good.
Well, if you know, I don't think we talked for 3, so I put an extra 2 in there just to be safe. I figure, 36 or not 48. Look, 3 days was good. I'm not going for the hours. I'm trying to make sure we go down the list. I did want to. So the other thing I wanted to make sure was very important is, and you're the exact right person to talk about this subject. Switching up. So often on Facebook, I'll see every year, right around January, February. All right, a lot of the kids, the seniors, not as much. Post, hey, we need a sponsor. Can somebody sponsor our team?
Yeah.
You put a lot of sponsorship money back into softball in general. As we talked, the 2 teams, AAA. Here now we have someone who sponsors to tell you people how he chooses who he sponsors and what he needs as the sponsor. It's not just give you money, you get cool shirts made up, and then that's it. And maybe you post once every 6 months, like, hey, thanks. It's much more than that, and I have somebody on the show who can actually explain it. So when these guys, pay attention. This is how you go out and get sponsorship, and this applies for any business. And you're the guy, Mick. So please give me some insight onto what you're looking for and what you need to get out of your investment into a team.
Yep. So the cost typically is. Let me think what I usually put into. It's probably about 10. Somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 grand, I think, per team per year if you go the entire season.
Renegotiate, yo.
When you're all done with, if you say you're doing 2 tournaments a month and jerseys and all that other stuff, it's probably a little less than that. But
that's basically for a year, is what you're saying.
Yes, for an entire season,
okay.
Correct. And what I expect for that is for people to anybody they know who's looking to buy or sell a home. I'm looking for them to at least put me in front of those people. Right. I'm not expecting them to, bring someone to me and have that person say, yes, I'm going to use you no matter what. No, because I haven't earned anything yet. I want to talk to those people. I want to earn their trust. I want to let them know that I'm going to, do right by them. And, and we do that by having a meeting and speaking, right. And hopefully in person. And that's how we earn the trust and I always use the phrase, earn your business. Cause I'm not, I'm looking to earn your business. And we always tell people, hey, go talk to a couple more realtors. It doesn't hurt. Maybe you'll get along with them better. Go see what else is out there. We don't mind people interviewing multiple realtors. I always tell people to interview 3-4 other realtors. They can.
Absolutely.
Because we know what we're doing, and we don't typically, if you get me in front of somebody, we can typically 80-90% of the time seal that to be able to represent them. I would say probably 70 to 80% of the time. Because you have your iBuyers out there and your 72 solds, and sometimes those marketing gimmicks work on people without reading the fine print. They get charged a lot of fees doing that stuff. So
I can imagine. Yeah, I just, I guess the thing is too, with the sponsorship of any team, the thing I want to stress is, and I'll get you to confirm it, your record in tournaments does not impact your sponsorship nearly as much as the business that you bring to that particular sponsor. You could, I think, Mick, if you had a team that went 0-16, but is putting 3 or 4 contacts in front of you a month,
yep.
I figure that would be a good return on your investment. Is that a good assumption?
Absolutely, and I'll even move further on that and say that the 2 teams that I reached out to do the contest were teams that I knew were middle to upper tier AAA teams. I knew we were still going to win some games, but also I didn't see, and this is going to sound probably bad to some people, but I didn't see them getting bumped this year. And I talked to some people. It wasn't just me because I don't know everything, but I talked to a few people, and and they said, no, I don't think they're going to get bumped this year or whatnot. So I went and talked to them and the reason why that is because last year I played against another major team that I sponsored, and it didn't feel right, man. It didn't feel right playing against
that
my own.
That makes sense.
Myself, I wasn't going to do that.
Perfect sense. Makes perfect sense.
When I sponsored Still Stroking, we had to play them a couple times, and it felt all kinds of wrong.
Yeah, I mean, guys getting their feelings a little bit. Let's be honest. I think that makes perfect sense. You're far enough away from it where you can be, the sponsor. You can go enjoy your time playing with Blue Point and not have to worry about added crap. There's already enough stuff going on in any given tournament, especially at the major level, because like we were talking about earlier, I think the big difference is consistency. What you alluded to, like every ball coming off a bat is a shot. You got to make your first steps, got to be right on anything you got to run down, or you're not going to get there. That kind of stuff. You consistently have to be focused going into major games. You can't take plays off. You can't take at-bats off. I see a lot of AAA. There's no consistency. A guy could look like gangbusters for 2 at-bats, and then he just loses focus and pops up to the catcher. You don't see it as much in majors. I still see it, but it's few and far between. And usually those guys aren't on the team the next tournament. I see what they're doing. But yeah, I wanted to make it clear. Oh, don't do that, because now I can go like this. Or like that. I'm sorry, I get so caught up with the stupid, I'm like a 5-year-old with flashing lights.
Oh man.
I hear guys complain all the time, and having the show and the ability to get the word out. I just wanted to say it's not that hard to get a sponsorship. What's hard is making a relationship and keeping that sponsor. You and I have had many discussions in relation to Zarr Realty in the show. And I tell you, like, I have a plan. If you go into it without a plan, then why are you here? Like, what's the point? I mean, me and Marlos could talk on the phone any day of the week for a half hour. Yeah. We don't need to broadcast it.
or during Apex games.
Or during when we play Apex.
Yeah, man.
It's like, are you coming or not? Yeah. Just sit tight. I got it. I forgot to pick Caustic. It takes forever. It's, guys bitch, and it's really laziness. I always tell people, if it's a business that you can go and put money into before you even ask for sponsorship, that's your quickest way to get the meeting. I like bars. Everybody thinks bars, because you go in there one Friday night every month and have 4 beers. Guess what? The owner don't even know who the hell you are. You need to take your entire league team in there one night a week and blow about $200 between the tennies. Then you're going to get a sponsorship.
Right.
Like, and the difference, with real estate, you got to get them perspectives, not come in with your house, sell it for me. All he's asking for is a conversation. And you guys, that's what I don't understand. That's why I get aggravated.
And,
if you had said, I need guys that are bringing me deals, that's different. You're asking for conversations. You're asking for leads. That's all you really. And I did radio sales, which it was the dumbest thing I ever did. But I often fight with my general sales manager because he was like, I need you to make cold calls every day. I was like, that serves me no good. I got to go face to face. Like you said about getting people to trust you, form a relationship. That's what you need to do. You need to form a relationship with business and business owners. You can't walk in there and demand or ask for something. But our team's really good. That has no bearing on whether you're getting any money or not. No bearing. Why? Because you're going to show up once a month at the pizza shop with your We Won Victory League Night T-shirts. That's not going to get it done. So it's nice that we can put it out there into the internets, and hopefully somebody can watch this. And looking at it, we've been on for an hour and 20, so we've probably lost anyone that was conscious when we started.
Yeah, we are targeting a bunch of old folks, by the way. So,
we are. That's true too.
It's about sleepy time for them.
It's almost time. Next week we pick the games. If you're not in yet, talk to your coach and make it happen by Sunday. I think there's only one AAA spot left. We did lose a major team. Roster check had to pull out. Citing injuries. I am trying to fill the spot with an out-of-state major team. Mickey, what I can tell you is, sorry, I had the point right. I just found out today that we have 2 Texas 40 major teams coming in for the Zarr Realty Series in April over at Pioneer. So we got some fresh meat for the majors, and they're 2 really good 40s majors teams. So this is not going to be a pushover by any stretch of the imagination. Although, if you're not signed up for March, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I got bats galore. 12 bats if you win. I just approved the proof for the Glue Guys T-shirts and the prize packs. No, I don't have extras. Don't ask. You got to win to get one. It's a special thing. That's why I did it that way. We got special awards that are Glue Guy centric, and we're working on ones for your stuff, in April. So a lot of good things happening. I hope to have an update on the orange and black Glue Guys bat, who's going to be making it in the next week or 2. Surprisingly, we're getting some traction. Like we have some kind of stroke around here, baby.
Got some pull.
Let's
bro.
go.
You know what it is.
Hopefully it's not a piece of crap. But we don't know who's making it yet, so don't get excited just yet.
Are we gonna break it on fire? Are we gonna break it on specific types of balls? I mean, that's gonna be the key.
All right, hold on. Moment of silence. I think we lost another Louisville Slugger and a Suncoast this week due to yours was not a victim. Stop it.
I know.
Yours was natural causes.
It's still tough.
To the ones that
it's kind of tough, bro.
To the bats that were taking early from us that did not deserve the fate that they got. We pray for you.
Oh boy.
And Marlos Cuz, which is getting replaced because it's under warranty.
It is. It's already shipped. It's shipped out. I got the message this morning.
But he gets mad when I call him Mr. 800. He's out here cracking brand new Louisville.
Cut it out,
whatever.
Bro. Cut it out, bro.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Hey, sun shines on a dog's ass at least once a day, bro. That's all I'm saying. It's not indicative of a pattern if you only do it once.
Yeah, I know.
Huh? Yeah.
Why you texting me during the show, Mike? Come on, bro. You know better. Sonoran Pavers, Mike, you know better. Which tells me, are you watching the program?
Oh yeah. Well, that's all.
Anyway,
really
all right, let's wrap this up. Mickey, again, brother, you've always supported any media thing I've tried to do, and I truly appreciate that. Now we've upped our game. I also appreciate that you stayed with us through all this stuff. We're trying to pay that back best we can. We're working on it.
I love the show, man. I love the free speech, and there's no narrative, and you guys let people say what they want to say, and that's why I love it.
Absolutely.
And we'll have you back on, I'm sure. There's a couple different things that are going to happen soon that you'll be back on for. I'm pretty positive.
We might look into doing getting a couple people to drop in during the draw next week.
That's the major draw. I may be back next week to talk about Blue Points games we pick. But I'll also have you back on. I'm at least going to have you back on to do an update on the the competition for the sponsorship the rest of the year from Hits and Where's Five At. Definitely going to bring it back for that. And there's some other stuff that I can't talk about yet that you know and don't know, but you're definitely going to be back on for what we were working on for the thing. We'll just call it the thing right now. Whoever's activating the share button, thank you. We need all the help we can get.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So another one in the books, Mick. Thank you again. We will be seeing you soon.
Thank you, John.
Sunday deadline, Glue Guys Invitational. Get signed up for April out of Pioneer because we got competition. You always complain, same teams. I got 2 brand new teams from Texas coming in. So major teams step up now. I did my part. Other than that, next week, big show. We're picking games, baby. Not quite as good as ESPN, but we're going to try. We're going to be professional. We're going to use our inside voices.
I don't have one of those.
Shit. All right. What else you got? I got nothing. What do you got? I'm trying to close the show. You take a shot. You're taking shots over here. I'm trying to end the show.
Come on.
Why you got to keep the show going?
Why? Come on. You know, come on. What do you want from me? You know what I'm here for.
What are you doing?
You know what I'm here for. Come on. You know what I'm here for. Come on. Come get it out. Come on.
Hit the music. Hit my music. Dude, I can't believe how fast that went by. I looked up and I was like, holy shit, we've been on an hour and a half. What?
I can.